this is going to be your March 2019 general reading. This is for Aries rising, sun, and moon. I hope you guys are well. I hope you guys have a wonderful March. March is one of my favorite months of the year. So, as usual, I'm using the spiral deck for your basic layout. And this month, I am using the Enchanted Map Oracle cards for your clarifiers. I just recently got these and I am absolutely in love with these cards. They're so fun to work with. So I'm going to go ahead and show you your basic layout and then I'll get started. I don't know, maybe it's my Scorpio moon, but I like keeping the Oracle cards a mystery, or the clarifiers in general a mystery. But you should get a general gist of it just from the original cards. So, your central experience for March is the Eight of Pentacles. Your challenge, this is obviously a challenge, is the Tower. What is helping you is the Ten of Cups. At the root or core of your being, you have strength. What you're coming away from, or in the recent past, there's the Ten of Swords. Your best possible outcome is the World. Coming up for you in the near future, you have the Princess of Wands. You right now are the Five of Cups. In your surroundings, you have the Empress. Your hope and fears is the Four of Swords. Your general outcome is the Six of Wands. Very nice. You have two very nice outcomes, especially together. So, this seems like a very particular reading, and so this may or may not apply for you. I know for myself personally, I always watch all three of my rising, my sun, and my moon. I tend to favor my rising and my moon more than my sun, actually, with readings. So if this does not resonate for you, you may want to check out the other two out of your three. But, I mean, it's always fun to watch all three regardless. So, your central experience for March. I want you to get a really good look at how beautiful these cards are. This is called Encouragement. And this is with the Eight of Pentacles. So, your central experience for March seems to be that you are giving someone else encouragement, or you are being given encouragement by someone, or even just feeling encouraged in general with your goals and possibly work or business or what you're trying to produce or create in your life at this time. You are seeming rather practical this month, where you're thinking about long-term goals and what steps you need to take in order to get to those goals, and to approach those steps with a patient approach of taking it one step at a time, allowing things to be produced in the best possible way without hurrying. It could possibly be that you have a student or an underling or a, what's that word, apprentice, where if you are skilled with a particular craft, you may have an apprentice or somebody who wants to learn what you do, and you are being a very encouraging teacher. This could be, especially because this is a mother and baby giraffe in the picture. This may even be something, there's a few different elements in this reading that point towards children. If you happen to have children or you have a prominent child in your life, this says that it is now the time to start really nurturing them and encouraging them towards building up their skills or encouraging them with their talents and their natural abilities. Or possibly for someone, it may be time to bring your child with you to work so they can see what you do and have a better idea of what you do, or somehow include your children in your work. If you have some kind of creative thing that you're producing, they could produce something creative right alongside you. There may be more of an emphasis on this at this time for a reason. But if you don't have children, this feels very nurturing and encouraging to me. So it feels as if you are not alone in this process of building things. So let's leave that there. Your challenge. I know the lighting's a little strange. My apartment doesn't get very much natural lighting, so I have to jerry-rig things up with lamps and things. So hopefully you can see this okay. This card is called Education, and it's a woman looking into a book. There's a fairy dancing on top of the book, and there looks, I think that's a crane or an egret or something nearby. Maybe she's reading them a story out loud and educating them about something. This is a really particular message, but I did get this, that for some of you, you may be going through an identity crisis with what you have been taught. If you are teaching someone else, as a hypothetical story here, just to illustrate what I'm saying, if you are teaching somebody else something, this student may ask you certain questions that lead you to look deeper into what you were taught, and you may realize that some of what you were taught was not accurate, or something about your studies or the field that you've been in has changed so dramatically that what you were taught in the past no longer applies anymore, or things have evolved since then. Something about what you were taught has gotten in the way or is no longer a solid structure for you. It could even be that you were taught you were too, I'm sorry to put it this way, maybe you were insulted. Maybe your intelligence was insulted when you were growing up, or people didn't understand how you learned or how to best meet your needs with education, and so you possibly were not given the greatest education because your mind is so unique. They didn't know what to do with you. And rather than realizing that it was the system's problem for not educating you properly, you somehow took it on that you are not bright enough or that you couldn't learn certain things. This actually may be a cathartic moment for you this month where you realize you are capable of a heck of a lot more than you thought, and you're actually a heck of a lot more intelligent than people have been telling you. Or that you are capable of learning these things. And so what you have been taught in the past is crumbling now and falling apart. You may temporarily be going through some kind of a cathartic moment or some kind of an identity crisis with what you believe or what you've been taught. What I'm getting from some of the elements in here is that you are understanding things in a much deeper way, where you might actually be in a position to be able to teach something to someone else in a way that has never really existed before. Or you want to work on how to best teach people or encourage people. If for some of you happen to have careers where you're some kind of a coach, like a life coach or a health coach, or you could be a physical therapist that has to encourage people to work hard at recovering physically from injury, where it's hard work, but I get the feeling that you fully enjoy it. And there you may be going through some kind of a breakthrough where you're understanding your craft better now, and some things that you have been taught you realize are not accurate, or there's a better way of doing this, but this does create a little bit of upheaval for you. It could even be something as specific as you wanted to go to school to learn something new and you were looking forward to being accepted, but either financial stuff fell through, or you got rejected to the school that you wanted to go to, or there was some kind of disappointment or crumbling with education. But let's move on. So you get the point. This seems to me like you're either going to get this or not. What is helping you? You have the Ten of Cups, and you have a card that is called Gentle Gardener. I love this card. Just look at this. It's the gentle gardener looking down with love at her little egg seeds that have fairies sitting on them. I think that the fairies are hatching the eggs or keeping the eggs warm, and she's smiling down on them and shining her love down on the little delicate new seeds or eggs that are about to sprout any day now. This takes patience. Gardening takes patience and care, especially when the plants are in their very beginning stages. And happiness. Gentle gardener and happiness is what's helping you. So what's helping you is to be like the gentle gardener, to be nurturing, loving, patient, kind, especially with things that are new or things that are growing. To be like this gentle gardener reminds me of mother energy. Hatching eggs, taking care of the little ones. And this is a feeling of gentle love, of softness, of care, taking care of something with happiness. So by radiating love and care, that is how you will draw yourself the deepest, biggest blessings at this time. And something about this may even be energy that is being shown down on you. You may have met someone, as in a romantic thing, who is very much like the gentle gardener here. Someone who is extremely caring, soft, gentle, someone who truly cares about you, and this makes you feel incredibly happy. And this person is extremely good for you. I'm almost getting a feeling for someone that you can't even believe it. It's so wonderful that you can't even believe it. It's like you won the lottery or something. You don't even know how this happened. But this is also a role that will help you best to do this for others, to be that generous, kind, loving person that cares. And by enveloping this energy of care or radiating it around you, you're going to have amazing results. It almost feels like miracles or magic pouring into your life if you take this role. Interesting. I almost get a feeling that you've attracted more guides that are loving now, or all of a sudden you're aware of the fact that you have this energy shining down on you, whether it's a spiritual feeling or whether it's actually coming from your environment, or whether or not it's coming from you. Perhaps it's all three. So, if you are planning on a garden for the spring, you're extremely excited about this garden that you're going to be planting or creating something beautiful in the spring, especially around April next month, rather than March and April, but I'm getting Easter and bunny rabbits and painted eggs here. Something about April is when you'll see the fruition of everything. So, at your root of your being, you have strength in with dry desert. I'm just trying to angle it so you can see it without the glare. This feels like at your core you're going through something rather intense. And it feels as if you are needing nurturing. You have been stoically moving forward in your life, but you guys are Aries. Aries actually is an energy that belongs to the desert. Mars is the ruler of deserts, of infertile places where not much grows. But I live in a desert. Anyone who actually lives in a desert knows that usually something grows there, whether it's cactuses or little lizards, or there's always something growing in the desert. It just is a completely different, almost alien environment. I'm getting that you have been walking alone, stoically, doing what you can for a very long time. You may have been on your own for a long time. You may have felt alone for a long time, which you're built to do that in a particular way, and you've been extremely strong about having to do what you had to do. Regardless of what resources you had around you, you worked with what you had. But a dry desert doesn't have any water. You can almost imagine this woman in the desert saying, okay, I'm thirsty, I need water. There's some cactuses over there. Maybe I can slice the cactus and get some water from the cactus. But she needs water. She's thirsty. And water is nurturing. Water is emotions. It's like you've had to suppress your emotions for a long time in order to survive, or in order to do what needed to be done. And rather than, I don't know why this is coming to me like this, something about avoiding playing a victim role. You may have even said things in the past like that, like I'm no victim, or I'm not going to play the victim role, or you may have even judged other people for taking on, I don't know why I got that victim role as if it's in quotation marks, as if it's been used a little bit too much. Perhaps you have been suppressing yourself to a certain degree in thinking that you can just survive and do without, but it's catching up to you now, and you're realizing you almost have become too strong, or too stoic, or too non-victim. Something about that for somebody needs to be relooked at. Things aren't so black and white. Victim, there's more to that than meets the eye, and you may need to realize that you do have a soft inner lover that needs care, needs companionship, and needs your emotions to be valued, even if those emotions are sad, or don't know what to do, or are not feeling capable. And this, I think, is one of the reasons on why you have Gentle Gardener as what's helping you this month. Is something about this is finally coming to an end, I'm getting. This long cycle of doing things on your own, stoically moving forward, staying strong, being a good leader, but also not acknowledging the fact that there is a very deep, big part of you that needs this care, that needs this nurturing, and needs this emotion, needs this nurturing. And this is why this is helping you. And also to do this, I feel as if for some reason a lot of you have gotten too tough. You've gotten too tough. Almost to the point of it not being healthy. And so it's going to be important for you to focus on bringing this out more, this softness and this love. I'm getting unconditional love. And not just towards others or from others towards you, but from you to yourself. So, in the past, ouch. This is going to be really specific. You have the Ten of Swords in with, I don't know if you can see it, it's called commitment. It's kind of light colors and it's hard to see, but it's two hands holding, two holding hands with hearts. And it says commitment. So I don't know, it looks as if maybe perhaps for some of you, you had a commitment that you were looking forward to and it didn't work out. Either the commitment was broken or betrayed or ended. Something that you thought would last didn't end up being true, didn't end up to be what you thought it was. This can also be a commitment not just with love, but also with business or something, a life path or something that you put a lot of energy into and that you were determined to continue to grow this, but something about it ended badly. The commitment was broken, or it could even be another way of looking at this is that recently you have decided that you are committed to letting go of the Ten of Swords. You're committed to no longer allow that to affect you. This feeling of painful endings or betrayal or not having the loyalty that you needed. Again, I'm getting this feeling of you being on your own and having to plug away even in the middle of something like this. Your best possible outcome is the World with home. That looks like a really nice home. I wish that was my home. I would love to have a home that looked like that. Let me switch it. Maybe that'll help with the glare. So, your best possible outcome is that this long journey that you have been on, where you haven't had water, you haven't had companionship, you haven't had the support that you needed, you had to take a lead to keep on going, to be strong. It seems as if you were seeking something, but maybe somewhere along the way you gave up looking for it, or you just lost a sense of direction or lost a sense of belonging, where you felt like you were wandering around in the dry desert with no home to go back to. And something about what you thought was your spiritual home or a safe place for you ended up not to be. This may have reinforced the feeling that you have to do everything on your own or to just swallow it and deal with it and keep on going. But now it's saying that that long cycle of being alone and not possibly looking for something that you felt you lacked, but it's almost like you didn't really know what that was. It was just a feeling. That is coming to an end. You are no longer going to be wandering around in the dry desert looking for water. You will no longer have to stoically move forward on your own, and you will no longer have to put up with false commitments or commitments where people don't honor those commitments or where commitments aren't honored. You're moving on to a completely new long-term cycle that has to do with home. And look at how similar, and home being in this, from what I'm getting from this, home is a safe, comfortable haven where you have plenty of water to drink, plenty of food to eat, plenty of good company, and loved ones and people that love you, and a sense of belonging someplace. You've been looking for this home for a long time, and I have a feeling that you have already just found this feeling, or you're about to, as your best possible outcome. And the sooner you can let go of this old world of being in the dry desert with no company and no water, that you will no longer be there. It's almost like having a hard time letting go of that feeling because you were so used to it, or fearing that you will find this home because what if you lose it now that you do know what you've been lacking this whole time and you found it. It's almost like you're terrified of it being false or a false commitment, but that's not true. This is your genuine spiritual home or emotional home. This is not going anywhere. And this can be a home within yourself too. Once you find this home within yourself, then you can attract that home all around you. And it's already happening. This home has been with you the whole time. It's just you got lost somewhere along the way with feeling left out or not knowing where that home was. But you are no longer going to be lonely, or you're no longer going to be allowed to stoically on your own do everything. It's almost forcing your heart to open up. It's almost like a good kind of sabotage. If you compare these two, doesn't this home look like it would belong to the gentle gardener? This feels really healing to me. Really, really healing, especially on your heart chakra and heart space, of a sense of belonging and deep, deep love and gratitude. This is amazing. My dog is crying. I'll be right back. Okay, here we go. Our poor little boy got neutered a couple of days ago, so he's still recovering. Huh, buddy? Okay, in the near future for you, you have listening with the Princess of Wands. And this is another thing in here that's making me think that for somebody or some of you, you either have a child that's trying to get something across to you, or you need to listen more to your child, or you may need to listen more to students if you have an apprentice or a helper or a young person, or even an underling who's studying underneath you, or you're leading the way for them and showing them how to do something. if that does happen to be the case for you, I'll read it in several different ways, but this just struck me right away. You may need to make sure in the near future that you really are listening. There may be something that a child is trying to tell you, or there may be something that you need to listen to your child about. Or if you have an apprentice or an underling or somebody who's studying under you, you need to listen more to the questions that they ask or any opinions they might have on how they could be taught better. Or even they may be giving, anyone who's a teacher knows that your students are also your teachers. The teaching goes both ways. And by teaching someone else, you learn more about what you know so that you can give them the best possible information that you can. It makes you re-study or relearn the things that you learned, where perhaps you remember things that you hadn't remembered before that you had been taught because they're asking you certain questions. And this does take your patient, kind, caring listening. Elephants are amazing listeners. Elephants are amazing, receptive, giant beasts. They love extremely deeply. They have deep, long-term memories. They're very caring towards their young. They're very patient. And this is the role that you need to take with anyone who is younger than you, whether it's physically young or spiritually young or emotionally young. Someone who is not as experienced as you really needs you to take this role of caring, gentle gardener, and encouragement. Ooh, sorry, you guys. Let me lift this up or my head's not cut off. Encouragement, gentle encouragement. Gentle gardener looking after her young ones. Even with this home card as your best possible outcome, it's screaming at me that you need to take the role of being the gentle, loving, kind, patient person. And they'll respond. This will help them to grow quicker. This will help them to feel encouraged. This will help them to know that they can rely on you to truly listen to what they have to say. Or this can even, children aside. Obviously, princesses can be children, but they don't have to be. This is a young process in your life. There's something you're excited to get started with, or you have already started, or you yourself may be learning something new, and you're having to listen more than you did before. The universe is giving you signals, signs, messages all the time, and it may be that you have a new feeling arrive in your life in the near future where you're paying attention more to what the universe is letting you know. By the things that if you weren't listening or weren't paying attention, you would never even notice them. They're soft messages. They're not messages that scream at you. This takes your active ability to be receptive. And if you are creating something new in your life, you should be listening to your intuition concerning this and your own innate wisdom, wise self within, on how to best take care of this or how to best do this. And by taking a light-hearted, carefree, experimental, creative approach to things, you will be getting more knowledge and more information than you've ever been given before. Okay. You right now are the Five of Cups and a one-ring circus. And look, it's an elephant again on top of a floating rock or some kind of island with one lone circus person on top. She is isolated, alone, out in the middle of nowhere. At least they have each other. At least she has her elephant. But it seems to me as if she wants more than to just be on this free-floating tiny island with her elephant. It seems as if she wants more. She wants more emotion or care or companionship. And this is causing a lot of grief or sadness or feelings of loss. If you have been through something in the recent past where you have felt abandoned, or you have felt betrayed, or you have felt as if a commitment was broken, or some kind of agreement was broken, and you were left out on your own yet again, because it seems like this is a reoccurring feeling for you over years, or pattern, let's say it that way, of here we go again, I'm on my own again, or something like that. That has caused you a great deal of grief. You don't want to be stranded on an island with your elephant. You want to enjoy your life and be part of connections with other people. You don't want to feel so isolated. You've almost, I'm getting for some of you, you have felt cast aside or unacknowledged or demeaned, not respected, neglected, or this is just a feeling. This is just a feeling that you carry that crops up every now and then that may come from the distant past. Like I said, elephants have long-term memories. They have deep, deep emotional memories of things. But this is where you're at. In your surroundings. My poor little dog. You have the Empress with compass. What I'm getting, well, first of all, the Empress in your surroundings is extremely auspicious. This is a really amazing card to get in your surroundings. This says that, especially with compass here, a compass always points north when it's working correctly. It always tells you what direction you're headed in or what direction you should head in. It's an internal compass that lets you know if you're on the right track or not, so that you don't get lost. It's a sense of direction. It's a sense of going someplace or knowing where to go. And the Empress is the Divine Mother. She's love. She's sensuality. She's sexuality. She's creativity. She's abundance. She mainly is from the energy that comes from the heart. If you notice, there's the glyph up above. There's several glyphs in here, but one of them is for Venus, which is one of the rulers of this card. The Empress is actually ruled by Venus and Jupiter together, but it speaks of the heart. It speaks of the intuition. It speaks of the creative, massively imaginative creative force that comes from the feminine aspect of the universe, which seeks to create beauty, create love, create prosperity, create luxuriousness, and fertility, connection, feeling fed, feeling nourished. The Empress here is Mother Nature. It is the complete opposite of a dry desert. Obviously, dry deserts belong on Earth, and this is Mother Nature, or is Earth. But this is the dry, barren areas of Earth. This is the lush growth and creativity and imagination of Mother Nature being produced. This can also be a person that is a prominent love of your life too. Like for a man, when a man's getting a reading, if he's straight anyway, if he gets the Empress, this represents the woman of his dreams. But this, for a woman, this can also be the feeling that you are treated like you are a goddess, or you are completely appreciated for who you are, and you feel completely nourished and held up in your feminine forces. You feel respected, in other words. But this is your guiding force right now in your surroundings. This is your north. The Empress here is your north. This is where your compass is pointing at. And you know exactly how to move forward and what to do and how to get there if you just trust your own internal compass and know that this is definitely the direction that you want to take. So you're about to possibly even travel or decide to relocate, or you have already moved someplace and you're watching things unfold in your new surroundings. But this looks amazing. This even seems to me that for some of you, this may be feeling led or feeling guided or led towards great love in your surroundings. Or someone may find you. You may find someone, or someone may find you. Someone may be looking for you right now. That seems like love in its truest form, true love, health, getting better, feeling appreciated. You may travel someplace really beautiful, travel to someplace really beautiful. That's an extremely healing experience for you. And you feel drawn to this place or led to this place, or you will find this place. If some of you are relocating or you're looking for a different place to be, as your best possible outcome, don't forget that you have home. As your best possible outcome, it seems as if you find it. You find your place. Or you find love that feels like home. Or you find a sense of purpose where you come back home to yourself. You feel comfortable. So your fears and hopes. You have sad embrace, and you have the Four of Swords. So again, I'm getting that there is some pain or sadness or grief that was caused by some kind of a commitment that was broken. Even if it wasn't with love, it could have been a commitment to a business or something that you poured a lot of your love and energy and time into, and something about it fell through or didn't work out. And whatever it happens to be, something was broken. And so your fear may be that you're afraid of continuing to feel this sadness or this grief, or that you won't heal. But your hope is that you will heal. By resting and honoring your own emotions and taking care of yourself when you need to, this is how you'll heal. This is how this will slowly pass away, and you will no longer feel like you're devastated. Low, feeling depressed, feeling sad, feeling exhausted. You know, when you're depressed, it can make you want to sleep all the time. It can make you not have very much energy. I'm kind of getting this feeling. Your hope is that you will rest. Your hope is that you will feel better, is that you will get better, that you will no longer be in this state. And your general outcome is the Six of Wands, which is victory and success. And moving on, I'm getting moving on, but being extremely successful with the moving on process. But I'll show you the clarifiers. We've got movement. If things weren't moving or progressing or moving forward in the past, things are definitely moving now. Or you are moving. You may be moving to a new location or moving towards a new love, or moving towards a new career. Whatever had fallen apart in the past that made you feel cast out or alone, or like you had to fend for yourself, or you didn't have the nurturing or the water that you needed, it seems as if you are taking yourself towards that water. And you're moving forward. You're moving away from whatever that was in the past that made you feel that way. You're paying more attention now to signs and messages from the universe, and as long as you keep on moving, you'll see things unfold in a really good way. And your other clarifier, which I find really fascinating, especially for you guys, is you have rescue. And this is reminding me of your one-ring circus, of you stranded on a rock with your elephant, wondering how the heck are you going to get out of this situation? Or how do you get out of this situation inside of yourself? Or for, you Arians are so independent and so fiery and so strong and so confident and brave that I can see why this would be a hard thing to acknowledge about yourself, that sometimes we really do need somebody to come to our aid. We can't always be the lone stoic warrior doing your thing without having what you need and staying strong all the time. Sometimes we have to admit that perhaps we may be in a situation that we're not sure how to get out of, or that we don't know what to do, or that we even simply want the gesture from someone else to try to help because that means that they care about you. It may be a sore spot for you to admit to this feeling of vulnerability, but it looks as if someone is coming. Or you're coming to someone's rescue, or someone's coming to your rescue. And by that, I don't necessarily mean, although it is kind of a portrayal of it. Can you see it? It's the damsel in distress in the cave on the floating island saying, how the heck am I ever going to get off this island? And there's the person in the hot air balloon with the telescope looking for her, looking for a way to land it so that he can get to her and get her out of there. Sometimes we really do get into positions like this where we're not really sure how to get out of it, and it does take someone who cares about you to reach out and say, hey, do you need help? Or I've got your back, or I support you in this. I'm kind of getting that you've become over-crystallized with being the lone warrior, and you really need companions, friendships, lovers, family members who you're on the same team with, and they've got your back and you've got their back, and you don't have to be the lone warrior. It's okay to say that you need companionship, or you need help, or you need backup. And that's why detectives and cops always have a partner. There's never one cop, there's usually two of them that work together. It's important to admit to the fact that you need help, or you need backup, or that's even what you want. Or this could be someone else who is realizing that they feel this way, that they need you to rescue them, or they need you to show that you care and that they're not all alone. But I'm getting mutual aid here, or a way out that you didn't see coming, or that you were hoping was coming, but you weren't sure if it was ever going to happen or not. And with this movement forward, and with, it seems like a massive healing to me. That brings you great joy and success and victory. So hopefully that helped, or at least made sense. And I wish you all the best. And pretty soon, I'm running a little late because I've had a lot going on recently. My apartment's being redone from the whole inside out. And then my dog got neutered, and February is always kind of strange because it's shorter. And I always forget that until the very end, and then it feels like I have to hurry. So these will be coming out a teeny bit late, but my goal is to have them all out by maybe the 5th or the 6th. And pretty soon I'll be coming out with your love reading for the month. And then in the middle of the month, I'll be putting out random messages from the universe. I wish you all the best. If you're Irish like me, then happy St. Patrick's Day. And I shall see you guys soon. Take care. Bye. Love you guys. This was an amazing reading. So you'll have to let me know what happens for you. It feels like a huge breakthrough. Okay, bye.